A surprising move is brewing in Europe that could shake the foundations of the United States financial system. Germany and Italy are now actively considering the repatriation of 1,930 tons of gold, worth roughly $209 billion, from the vaults of the New York Federal Reserve. The plan? To transport the bullion back to Europe within 8 weeks, using NATO aircraft. The ongoing debate in Berlin and Rome over the fate of their gold reserves has now escalated into an international financial crisis centered in Washington. By mid-2025, both Germany and Italy still held major portions of their gold reserves at the New York Fed, a post-World War II legacy of the Western security structure. But a recently leaked document revealed an active plan to bring back the full 1,930 tons of gold to Europe in just 8 to 10 weeks. Despite mixed reactions from Germany's major political parties, polling shows that over 50% of Germans are leaning toward full repatriation of their national gold. According to official Bundesbank data, Germany's gold holdings total 3,352 tons. Roughly one-third of this, about 1,236 tons, is still in New York, stored 24 meters below ground in steel vaults. At a spot price of $3,366 per ounce, that gold is valued at approximately $134 billion. Italy holds 2,451 tons of gold in total, and around 700 tons of it also remains in United States vaults, with an estimated market value of $75 billion. Altogether, the two nations' combined deposits at the Fed amount to 1,930 tons, valued at more than $210 billion. So who's driving this movement? In Germany, opposition party AfD has long championed gold repatriation as a matter of national sovereignty. Since 2013, they've included it in their platform under the title, Security Against the Euro Crisis. Reform the monetary system and bring back national gold. Party co-leader Alice Weidel frequently criticizes the ECB's negative interest rate policy and the EU's mounting debt burdens. In an April 2025 press briefing, Weidel slammed CDU leader Friedrich Merz for holding German gold hostage on Wall Street and accused him of making political compromises with the United States. Meanwhile, Meloni's recent hints at relocating Italy's gold to Rome have given the AfD more fuel. They argue Germany is not alone. The Eurozone's second-largest gold holder is considering the same path. Germany's Bundesbank is no stranger to gold transfers. Between 2013 and 2017, it successfully repatriated 674 tons from Paris and New York to Frankfurt. Each shipment, conducted at night using NATO aircraft like the IL-76 and C-17, ranged from 20 to 50 tons. The logistics are in place. What's lacking now is political consensus. Even the CDU seems to be shifting. In late May, veteran CDU MEP Markus Ferber publicly linked Trump's comments on the Fed with the potential threat to foreign-held reserves. German media quickly picked up the story. Merz sees this as an opening. Facing pressure from AfD, he may use the gold issue to rebuild his economic credibility, especially as Washington eyes new tariffs on German exports like automobiles and steel. Repatriating gold could give Germany added leverage and offer Merz political points at home. Yet the German finance ministry has deferred the issue to the Bundesbank, which continues to praise the New York Fed as a reliable and secure institution. This ambivalence only heightens the pressure on AfD and deepens Merz's dilemma. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni now finds herself in a tough spot. Back in 2019, while in opposition, she vowed to bring Italy's gold home. Now in power, that promise collides with the reality of rising trade tensions with the U.S. Reports suggest that Bundesbank and the Bank of Italy were already exploring the possibility of moving 50 to 60 tons of gold per week under tight NATO logistics. Should that happen, the foreign gold deposit line on the Fed's balance sheet would shrink by $29 billion in just 1 month, a significant dent. Though this wouldn't cause a direct loss for the Fed, it could disrupt market liquidity. Reverse repo auctions might see bid-ask imbalances exceed $20 billion, nudging interest rates toward the upper limit of the Fed's target range. The Fed could absorb the shock, but even a 10 basis point jump in Treasury yields could ripple across mortgages and corporate borrowing. The real threat? A lasting shift in how the world views U.S. Treasuries. Germany and Italy are expected to scale back their short-term T-bill holdings, worth about $18 billion, which may add another 5 to 6 basis points to 10-year yields. With the U.S. already spending $659 billion on interest in 2024, projected to hit $770 billion by 2026, any sustained rise in borrowing costs could be devastating. Even if gold transfers don't create a cash outflow, they may destroy the illusion of the dollar as an unshakable reserve currency. If more mid-tier reserve holders, like the Netherlands, Belgium, or Austria, follow suit, the dollar's share in global reserves could plummet. Central banks have already increased their gold allocations from 11% in 2000 to over 20% by 2024. Should that hit 25% by 2028, the U.S. could lose demand for over $800 billion worth of treasuries. Interest rates aren't just numbers, they affect real lives. In mid-2025, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate stood at 6.62%. A 15 basis point increase in Treasury yields could raise monthly mortgage payments by $30 and annual costs by nearly $400 on a standard $350,000 loan. That's enough to trigger a 5.6 to 6% decline in housing starts next year, meaning lower demand for construction materials like steel and cement. Meanwhile, in the auto sector, where loan rates could approach 8.5%, higher costs could cut car sales by 500,000 units and threaten over 10,000 factory jobs. Local governments would also feel the strain. A 30 basis point rise in municipal bond yields would force many infrastructure projects to be delayed or renegotiated, deepening economic stagnation in several regions. To ease the strain, the Fed may consider opening a covered bond window, a temporary mechanism that lets gold serve as collateral. While this could stabilize markets short-term, it would also send a dangerous message that even the dollar needs gold to function. Alternatively, expanding swap lines with the ECB and other central banks could help, but only if global confidence in the dollar remains intact. If that trust erodes, these measures lose their potency. In Berlin, the coalition of Christian Democrats, SPD, and Greens must now decide how to navigate public opinion, which is increasingly skeptical of keeping German gold overseas. The German Taxpayers Association has formally petitioned Parliament to return the bullion. In Rome, the situation is equally delicate. If Meloni doesn't win meaningful concessions from the U.S. on tariffs, she could accelerate the construction of the Villa Borghese vault, a powerful symbol of monetary independence. Ultimately, this isn't just about gold bars. It's about the unraveling of a belief system. Every ounce move challenges the post-Bretton Woods consensus that the dollar is the ultimate safe haven. As the world watches Germany and Italy's next steps, the repercussions for the U.S. are enormous. Higher borrowing costs, changes in investment patterns, and shifts in consumption could reshape the American economy for years. Ironically, this golden tug-of-war reminds us of an age-old truth. At the heart of every fiat currency lies nothing more and nothing less than trust. What's your view on the repatriation of gold from the U.S.? Is it a sign of responsible sovereignty or a warning for the dollar's future? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more deep dives like this.